We've all been there, haven't we? Those moments when life throws everything it has at you and you feel like you're shattered. You feel like you're not enough, like you can't take another step. Maybe you've faced rejection, experienced loss, or been hurt in ways you didn't think you could survive. But I'm here to tell you, when you feel broken, that's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your greatest transformation. You see, being broken doesn't mean you're defeated. It doesn't mean you're done. It means you're human. And guess what? Some of the most beautiful things in life come from the broken places. Have you ever seen a broken piece of pottery put back together? It's called kintsugi, a Japanese art form where cracks are filled with gold. The idea is that those cracks don't make the piece less valuable. They make it more unique, more powerful, more beautiful. And the same goes for you. I want you to understand something. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is a signal. It's telling you that you're alive, that you're feeling, and that you're capable of growth. But you can't stay stuck in it. When life feels heavy, when it seems like there's no way out, that's when you need to dig deeper, hold your head up, and keep moving forward. Not because it's easy, but because your resilience is more powerful than your pain. Feeling broken is something we all experience at some point in our lives. It could be from a personal loss, a failure, or a series of challenges that leave us feeling shattered, defeated, or unsure of ourselves. But it's important to understand that feeling broken is not the end of your journey. It's simply a part of it. Life has a way of testing our strength, pushing us to our limits. But that doesn't mean we are defined by those moments of vulnerability. In fact, those broken times are often the ones that shape us the most. They are opportunities for growth, for understanding, and for coming out stronger on the other side. When we experience brokenness, it's easy to feel like it's permanent, like we'll never recover or be the same again. We look at our situation, whether it's a personal setback, a relationship that's fallen apart, or a loss that seems too much to bear, and we think, how can I ever be whole again? But here's the truth. Brokenness is not the end of the story. It's just a chapter. Just like a story, life is full of ups and downs, twists and turns. Your current struggle might feel overwhelming, but it doesn't define who you are or who you will become. Take a moment to think about the times in your life when you faced challenges. Perhaps you've experienced rejection or heartbreak, or maybe you've fallen short of your own expectations. In those moments, you may have felt as if you were broken beyond repair. But look back now and you'll see how you've learned, adapted, and become stronger through those experiences. The brokenness you felt at the time has given you valuable lessons. It has shaped your character, broadened your perspective, and made you more resilient. We often think of brokenness as something to avoid, as something that signifies failure or weakness. However, brokenness is a natural part of the human experience. It's a signal that something is changing, that we're being pushed to evolve. It's like the cracking of an egg when it's time for something new to hatch, or the breaking of a seed so that it can grow into a tree. Pain is a part of the process, but it doesn't mean you're not progressing. It means you're growing. One of the reasons we fear brokenness is that we're conditioned to seek perfection and success at all costs. We don't like to show vulnerability, and we often feel ashamed when we experience failure. But here's a crucial point. Being broken is a sign of strength, not weakness. It takes courage to confront your pain, to face the things that make you feel vulnerable, and to keep moving forward despite it. A person who has never been broken has never been tested. It's in those moments of despair that we discover what we're truly made of. When you feel broken, you're actually building resilience. You're strengthening your inner foundation. Your scars are proof of the battles you fought, and they are part of the fabric of who you are becoming. If you're in a place where you feel broken, remember, it's temporary. You're not going to stay in that place forever. The human spirit has an incredible capacity for healing. You may feel like you're walking through darkness right now, but eventually you'll emerge into the light. And when you do, you'll be stronger, wiser, and more equipped to handle whatever. In fact, some of the most beautiful, inspiring people in the world are those who have been broken and come out the other side. They understand that brokenness is just a part of their journey, not the end. Their stories are marked not by their pain, but by their perseverance and their ability to rise. Just like broken pottery that is repaired with gold, you too can be rebuilt stronger with a new sense of purpose and value. The next time you find yourself feeling broken, don't see it as a sign of defeat. See it as a chance to rebuild, to rediscover your strength, and to grow into a new version of yourself. Embrace the process, trust that healing will come, and understand that your brokenness will ultimately lead to your transformation. You are never as broken as you think. You are always capable of coming back stronger. Pain is often seen as something negative, something to be avoided or feared. We grow up in a society that emphasizes strength, success, and happiness, but the reality is that pain is an integral part of life. It doesn't mean we are weak or broken. Rather, it is a signal that we are alive, that we are feeling, and that we are capable of experiencing deep emotional connections and growth. When you feel broken, it's easy to think that pain is something that will bring you down, but in reality, it's an invitation to discover strength within yourself that you didn't know existed. Pain, in all its forms, serves as a reminder that we are human. Whether it's the pain of losing someone we love, the hurt of a rejection, or the disappointment from an unfulfilled dream. These emotions are not signs of weakness. They're part of being alive. Think about how much you've learned from your pain. How much strength have you discovered in your darkest moments? How many times have you surprised yourself with the resilience and perseverance you didn't even know you had? That's the beauty of pain. It forces us to dig deeper into our inner resources. It challenges us to rise, to find a way through, and to push past the obstacles that stand in our way. The most important thing to remember when you're feeling broken is that pain does not have to be synonymous with defeat. Pain can actually be a powerful teacher. When we experience heartache, we learn how deeply we care. When we face rejection, we learn about our own value and the strength it takes to keep going, even when others don't believe in us. Pain has the potential to refine us, to make us more compassionate, more empathetic, and more aware of the struggles others are going through. It gives us a deeper understanding of the human condition and can motivate us to do better, to be better, and to rise above the circumstances we're in. But it's important to see pain for what it truly is, a temporary state. It's easy to get caught in the trap of thinking that pain will last forever, that the hurt you feel right now will define the rest of your life. However, just like physical wounds, emotional and mental pain will heal over time. It may take longer than you expect, and it may not always heal in the way you envision, but healing will happen if you allow yourself to go through the process. Healing is not about forgetting the pain. It's about learning to live with it, to grow from it, and to emerge as a stronger version of yourself. While you are in the midst of pain, it may feel impossible to imagine that there will ever be a time when you are not in distress. But trust me, that time will come. It's not about denying the pain or pretending it doesn't exist. Rather, it's about finding ways to move through it, to let it teach you and to use it as a tool for your growth. Every challenge, every heartbreak, and every failure can lead to a more profound understanding of yourself. The pain you experience can fuel your future success if you allow it to become part of your journey rather than something that holds you back. Furthermore, pain is not something to be faced alone. We live in a society that often encourages self-reliance, pushing the idea that we should deal with our struggles privately behind closed doors, but pain shared is pain lessened. When we reach out to others, whether it's a friend, a mentor, or even a therapist, we create space for healing. Being vulnerable and opening up about the pain you feel is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of courage. It allows others to help you, to guide you, and to remind you that you are not alone in your struggles. You are part of a larger community of people who understand what it's like to go through hard times. And when we come together, we can support each other through even the most difficult of challenges. In moments of pain, we have the opportunity to redefine our relationship with it. Instead of seeing it as something to avoid or fear, we can learn to accept it as a necessary part of growth. Pain teaches us about our resilience, our capacity to heal, and our ability to adapt to life's challenges. It may feel overwhelming in the moment, but if we take the time to reflect on it and process it, we can emerge from it with a deeper sense of self-awareness and a stronger will to move forward. So when you find yourself feeling broken, remember that pain is not your enemy, it's your teacher. It's an essential part of your personal development, and although it may feel unbearable right now, it will pass. You will rise from it, and when you do, you will be stronger, wiser, and more capable than you were before. The pain will have shaped you into someone who can face life's challenges with a renewed sense of purpose and confidence. Let pain be your guide, not your barrier. Healing is a process, and it's a process that takes time. When you feel broken, it's tempting to wish that the pain would disappear instantly, that you could wake up one day and feel whole again. But the reality is that healing doesn't work on a strict timeline. It's unique to each person, and it unfolds at its own pace. It's important to allow yourself to feel what you're feeling and understand that time is a crucial element in your emotional, mental, and physical recovery. There is no set schedule for healing, and you shouldn't rush it. The more we try to force ourselves to heal before we're ready, the more we risk suppressing our emotions, which can prolong the process. Healing requires patience. Patience with yourself, with others, and with the journey you're on. One of the most challenging parts of healing is the waiting. We live in a world that demands instant gratification. We want things to change quickly, and we often expect immediate results. But healing is not an instant process. It's a slow, gradual journey that requires you to face your pain, process your emotions, and make intentional efforts to move forward. While there may be moments when you feel like you're not making progress, it's important to remember that even small steps are significant. Healing isn't linear. There will be days when you feel strong and other days when you feel like you're back at square one. But each of those steps, no matter how small, is part of your healing journey. It's also important to remember that healing is not about erasing the pain or forgetting what caused it. Instead, it's about learning to live with it. Pain doesn't necessarily disappear completely, but with time, it becomes easier to manage. You don't have to be fully healed to continue moving forward, but you do need to give yourself the grace to acknowledge where you are. Healing involves accepting the emotions you're feeling in the moment, anger, sadness, confusion, or fear, and allowing them to be part of your experience. You don't need to push those emotions away or pretend that they don't exist. By allowing yourself to feel, you can begin to release those emotions in a healthy way and begin to make room for the healing process. One of the most significant aspects of healing is self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on ourselves when we're struggling. We tend to expect ourselves to be strong all the time, to bounce back quickly and to carry on as if nothing ever happened. But that's not realistic. Healing is not about suppressing your emotions or pretending to be fine when you're not. It's about acknowledging the hurt, allowing yourself to grieve, and giving yourself permission to take the time you need to recover. When you treat yourself with kindness and patience, you create an environment in which healing can thrive. Instead of criticizing yourself for being vulnerable, recognize that vulnerability is a part of the process. You are human, and it's okay to be hurt and to take time to heal. Another key part of healing is accepting that it's okay to ask for help. You don't have to go through the healing process alone. There's strength in reaching out to others for support. Whether it's a trusted friend, a family member, a mentor, or a professional, sometimes we feel like we should be able to handle everything on our own. But the truth is, that no one is meant to go through life struggles in isolation. When we open ourselves up to others, we allow for connection, understanding, and healing. Talking through your pain, whether through therapy or with someone who listens, can provide a fresh perspective and offer comfort during the tough times. You don't need to have all the answers, and you don't need to have it all figured out. Just taking that step to lean on someone else is a powerful part of the healing process. Healing also involves self-care. This doesn't mean just taking bubble baths or treating yourself to a day off. It's about taking care of your emotional, mental, and physical well-being. It's about nourishing your body with healthy food, exercising to release built-up stress, and getting enough rest. It's also about taking time to engage in activities that bring you joy, even if they feel like small things. Whether it's spending time in nature, reading a book, listening to music, or engaging in creative activities, these moments of self-care are crucial for your healing. They help you reconnect with yourself, offering a sense of peace amidst the chaos. Healing is about embracing the idea that it's okay to not be okay. Society often pressures us to appear strong and composed at all times, but healing requires us to be honest with ourselves. Some days will be better than others, and that's okay. It's okay to have moments of weakness, to cry, to feel lost, or to feel uncertain. The process of healing is not about achieving perfection, but about accepting that brokenness is a part of life. And through it, we can find new strength and clarity. Time is the most essential factor in healing. It is only with time that we can make sense of our pain, integrate it into our lives, and move forward in a healthier, more balanced way. Healing may not happen as quickly as we want, but it does happen, and it happens in its own time. All you need to do is show up, be patient, and trust the process. You'll be amazed at how far you can come when you give yourself the time and space to heal properly. When faced with difficulty and pain, one of the most empowering things we can do is take control of how we respond to the situation. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when life throws obstacles our way, whether it's a setback, a loss, or a challenge that feels insurmountable. But here's the truth. While we can't always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. Our response to adversity plays a critical role in shaping our future and determining how we emerge from tough situations. It's not the circumstances that define us, but the choices we make in those moments of difficulty. The way we respond to challenges can either hinder our growth or propel us forward. In the face of hardship, we have the power to decide whether we will let the situation defeat us or whether we will use it as an opportunity to rise. It's not about denying our emotions or pretending the struggle doesn't affect us. It's about choosing to keep going even when the road seems rough. It's about deciding to face the difficulty head on rather than being passive or letting it define us. One key aspect of responding to adversity is the ability to reframe our perspective. When we're going through a tough time, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeing the situation as a crisis, a roadblock that's preventing us from moving forward. But sometimes we need to step back and ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? Rather than viewing the pain or challenge as something that is solely negative, we can shift our mindset to see it as a growth opportunity. Challenges often force us to step out of our comfort zones, to confront parts of ourselves that we may not have wanted to face, and to develop resilience and strength. By reframing adversity, we can also begin to see it as a temporary state. While the pain may feel all-consuming in the moment, it's important to remind ourselves that this moment is not forever. Difficult situations can feel like they last an eternity, but time moves forward and we move with it. Even if things don't change immediately, the passage of time allows us to process the emotions, gain perspective, and eventually heal. The struggle we face today doesn't have to last forever, and by responding with patience and perseverance, we allow ourselves the space to heal and grow. Taking action is another crucial part of responding to challenges. When we feel broken, it's tempting to retreat, to stop trying, or to shut down emotionally. But it's often through action, no matter how small, that we begin to regain our sense of control and agency. A powerful response to adversity is the willingness to ask for help. Too often, we are taught to handle our problems on our own, to be self-sufficient and independent. But there is incredible strength in vulnerability. When we allow ourselves to lean on others, whether it's friends, family, or a professional, we tap into a network of support and wisdom that can help us navigate the storm. It's not a sign of weakness to seek assistance. Rather, it's an acknowledgement that we don't have to face everything alone. Asking for help can provide a fresh perspective, a sense of connection, and a reminder that we are not isolated in our struggles. Our response to adversity is also deeply connected to our inner resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to adapt, and to keep going even when things seem difficult. Resilience isn't something that we're born with. It's something we cultivate over time through experience and practice. Every challenge we face, every failure we encounter, and every hardship we overcome adds to our resilience. It's through facing difficulty and choosing to move forward that we build this muscle of resilience. And as we grow more resilient, we become more capable of handling whatever life throws at us in the future. We become more confident in our ability to navigate adversity and more trusting in our. One of the most profound ways to respond to challenges is by embracing a mindset of growth. Instead of seeing failure or hardship as the end of the road, we can view them as opportunities for personal development. Every difficult experience, whether it's a loss, a mistake, or an obstacle, carries with it valuable lessons. We can ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? How can this challenge contribute to my growth? When we adopt a growth mindset, we begin to see adversity not as something to be avoided, but as something that helps us evolve into better, more capable versions of ourselves. The way we respond to adversity defines who we are and what we become. Challenges are a part of life and they will come in many forms, but we have the power to choose how we meet them. Will we let them define us, or will we choose to rise, learn, and grow through them? Our response is what shapes our journey and determines the strength, wisdom, and resilience we carry forward. We are not victims of our circumstances, but active participants in our own growth and transformation. Through intentional, empowered responses, we can turn every challenge into an opportunity for success and healing. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that we are defined by our struggles, mistakes, or moments of failure. When we face challenges or experience pain, it's natural to wonder whether it's a reflection of our worth or identity, but the truth is, you are not defined by your brokenness. The struggles you go through, the mistakes you make, and the pain you experience are just parts of your journey. They are not the essence of who you are, nor do they determine your ultimate worth. The feeling of being broken can be overwhelming, but it's essential to remember that your value is not based on perfection or the absence of mistakes. Every person, regardless of their background or the challenges they face, has inherent worth. You are not less valuable because of your failures, and you are not less important because of the difficult times you've endured. When you experience hardship, it can feel like you are being reduced to your pain or your failure. But in reality, those are only small pieces of a much bigger picture. You are so much more than the sum of your struggles. At times, we may identify ourselves based on our past mistakes or our difficult experiences. We may think, I am a failure, or I am not enough because of what we've gone through. But this is where it's important to shift our thinking. While it's okay to acknowledge the pain and learn from it, it's just as important to recognize the lessons you've gained from overcoming challenges. Your brokenness doesn't define your worth, but your ability to rise above it does. It's the strength you demonstrate in times of difficulty, the resilience you show when life knocks you down, and the wisdom you gain from your experiences that truly define you. Another important realization is that our brokenness often leads to a greater understanding of ourselves and others. We may not see it in the moment, but our struggles shape who we become. They teach us empathy, humility, and compassion. By facing our own pain, we can better understand the pain of others. Our experiences with brokenness allow us to connect on a deeper level with those around us, offering support and understanding because we've walked that path ourselves. Rather than allowing brokenness to isolate us, we can choose to let it deepen our capacity for love and kindness. Our brokenness often reveals our strength in unexpected ways. When you go through hard times, you might not feel strong. In fact, you may feel weak and defeated, questioning whether you have what it takes to keep going. But strength is not always about feeling powerful or invincible. It's about perseverance in the face of adversity. It's the ability to keep going when everything inside you wants to give up. Every time you push through pain, every time you take one more step despite the heaviness you feel, you are proving your strength to yourself. There's a powerful truth in the idea that brokenness doesn't define you. It's how you respond to it that shapes you. Every person has moments of hardship, moments where they feel like they've hit rock bottom. But how you respond to those moments determines who you become. Do you give up? Or do you find a way to rise? Do you let your struggles consume you, or do you use them as fuel for growth? The way you respond to brokenness is what ultimately defines your character, not the pain itself. It's in choosing to face challenges with grace, strength, and perseverance that you build a life of meaning and purpose. Your brokenness doesn't have to be a source of shame or guilt. Rather, it can be a source of empowerment and growth. When you stop defining yourself by your failures or pain, you begin to realize that you are capable of so much more. You are capable of healing, of learning from your mistakes, and of emerging stronger than before. Your brokenness is not the end of your story. It's just a chapter, and it can become a part of a greater narrative of resilience and growth. Accepting that your worth is not determined by your brokenness allows you to release the burden of perfection. So often we strive for perfection, thinking that we have to be flawless to be loved or valued. But the truth is, it's our imperfections and vulnerabilities that make us human. The cracks in our armor allow us to connect with others, to be real, and to offer a more authentic version of ourselves. It's in our imperfection that we find our humanity, and it's through embracing our flaws that we can fully appreciate our worth. The most important thing to remember when you feel broken is this: you are worthy of love, success, and happiness no matter what you've been through. Your brokenness does not diminish your value. You are not defined by the challenges you face, but by how you rise above them. You are a person of strength, resilience, and wisdom, and no amount of pain or hardship can take that away. The key is to stop seeing yourself as a product of your brokenness and to start seeing yourself as someone who has the power to heal, to grow, and to become even more beautiful and strong than before. One of the most crucial steps in moving through feelings of brokenness is finding meaning in your struggles. It's often easy to feel lost or without purpose when faced with pain, disappointment, or hardship. The world around you might seem overwhelming, and you might question your worth or the direction of your life. However, finding meaning in your struggles can transform your experience from one of hopelessness into one of possibility and growth. When you're in the midst of pain, it's challenging to see beyond the immediate moment. You might feel as if everything is falling apart, and it's natural to wonder what purpose your suffering serves. But when you step back and take a broader view, you can begin to recognize that challenges, no matter how painful, often come with profound lessons. These lessons can help you grow emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. The key is to search for the deeper meaning in the struggles you face. It might not be clear at first, and it certainly won't always be easy, but as you reflect on your experiences, you may discover insights that you wouldn't have otherwise gained. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to redefine yourself. Pain forces you to reconsider your boundaries, your goals, and your values. It challenges you to ask yourself difficult questions about who you are and what you truly want in life. This can be a painful process. You might come to realize that some things you once thought were important no longer hold the same weight. And you may begin to embrace new perspectives and goals that reflect your true self. Brokenness can be a catalyst for reevaluating relationships. It might be a time when you realize certain relationships no longer serve you or align with your values. Alternatively, it might help you discover a deeper connection with others as you learn to lean on those who genuinely support and understand you. In these moments of vulnerability, you can cultivate stronger, more authentic relationships, and this often leads to a renewed sense of connection to the world around you. Struggles also often teach us the value of resilience. When you're going through something difficult, it's easy to feel as though you're stuck in the pain, unable to move forward. But resilience isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about navigating through it with strength and determination. It's the ability to face difficulty, acknowledge the pain, but still keep going despite it all. This strength isn't something you're born with. It's developed over time, often through experiences of hardship. Every time you get through a difficult moment, you are building your resilience, and with each challenge, you become stronger. What's more, the meaning you find in your struggles often extends far beyond just yourself. Once you begin to find purpose in your pain, you can share that meaning with others. Your story, your experiences, and the lessons you've learned can be a source of inspiration for others who are going through similar challenges. When you face hardship and find meaning in it, you often develop a greater sense of empathy and compassion, which allows you to connect with others on a deeper level. You can help others navigate their own pain, providing them with the support, understanding, and encouragement they need. It's also worth noting that finding meaning in struggles doesn't mean you have to dismiss or diminish your pain. It's not about pretending everything is okay or forcing yourself to just get over it. It's about acknowledging the difficulty while simultaneously looking for the opportunity for growth within it. It's the understanding that while pain is real and valid, it doesn't have to be a permanent state. It is something that will evolve, something you can move through, and ultimately something that will shape you into a stronger, more grounded person. The search for meaning in your struggles can help you develop a sense of purpose that goes beyond simply surviving. Too often, we focus on just getting through difficult times, but when we look deeper, we begin to understand how those struggles fit into a larger narrative. We might discover new passions, strengths, or ambitions that were hidden beneath the surface. By finding meaning, we also tap into a greater sense of purpose that guides us beyond mere endurance. We move from surviving to thriving as we discover how to use our experiences to fuel our future success and happiness. Finding meaning in struggles also requires patience. The lessons you learn from your hardships may not be immediately apparent, and it can take time to process everything you're going through. But when you allow yourself the space to reflect, to heal, and to grow, the meaning often becomes clearer with time. Patience doesn't mean waiting passively. It means giving yourself the time and grace to fully experience your journey. Knowing that clarity will come when you're ready to receive it. In the end, your struggles are not in vain. They are part of the fabric of your story, and they shape who you become. By searching for meaning in those struggles, you not only move through them, but you also transform them. Pain doesn't have to define you, but the meaning you find in it can empower you to live a life full of purpose, resilience, and connection. So rather than seeing your struggles as obstacles, try to view them as opportunities for growth. Because in the end, your greatest challenges can lead to your greatest triumphs.